Hi, this is Ed DeWitt from the Northeast Indiana National Instruments and LabVIEW Users Group. I'd like to introduce Steve Hassenplug, creator of Monster Chess, and we're going to ask Steve a few questions and get some good information about his project. Okay, well, Steve, why don't you tell me a little bit about your background, your educational background, professional background with Lego and robotics and LabVIEW.
I'm a software engineer. I've been playing with Lego forever. I've used lots of different languages to program both the Lego, the NXT, the current Mindstorms, and the older RCX. One of them that I've used is LabVIEW, which I like it because it's really easy to get things going. So it's easy to write a program, easy to get the stuff you want. You know, if I have an easy program that I want to write, that's the way to get it working quickly.
Good. What was your motivation for Monster Chess?
Monster Chess. My friends and I wanted to make a project, something where we created a big robot, or something big out of Lego. And so we probably spent a year or two trying to find a good project that we could work on. And I came across the idea of doing chess. I saw a yard chess set. I watched Harry Potter and saw Wizard's chess. And I thought chess is a really good thing we could do. We could make it, we're not making one really big robot, but we'll make a lot of smaller robots. So we don't have to deal with the mechanics of one big, the whole. We didn't have to deal with the structure of making a big robot. And so, we had multiple robots. We could make something that was identifiable to people, no matter what their background, people know chess. And so to create a chess set was something that everybody would recognize, and making a giant Lego robotic chess set is something that a lot of people think is really cool. The chess people, Lego people, the robotic people, tech people in general, a lot of people find it to be something really cool. And so we wanted to make something that people would recognize, and that just seemed to fit with everything we were looking for.
Why did you choose LabVIEW to program it in?
I wanted to, let's see. Why did I use LabVIEW? The software on the NXT, there's a few options for writing it. I wanted to use the standard Lego firmware, which eliminated a couple other options. And so LabVIEW is pretty easy to get it working. I knew we could give it all the functionality we needed, and to make the robots so that they would easily navigate around the board. Pretty easy to get it working. Have the robots so they'd remember where they are and where they're going. And I kind of enjoy LabVIEW because it's different than what I normally do at work using text-based stuff. So I think it's kind of fun to program with.
I agree. Just give us a little taste of how the code is architected and how the code is documented.
The documentation on the code, basically what I did, well, I put my notes. Whenever I have notes, I put them into the code. Just use text blocks and just write my notes. So in there I have big blocks of, this is a switch statement, and these are what all the switches represent. Generally, it's pretty much a big state machine. So the PC will send commands to the robot, and then the robot looks at that command, and there's a single switch statement that identifies how it needs to handle that command.
It's good that you're using a state machine.
I like state machines.
Yeah, me too. What are some of the lessons you learned during the design and the build and the programming?
Let's see. What I learned during the programming, what I learned during the project.
There you go.
It's been an interesting project in how to make something. First of all, we have all the robots are exactly the same except for the pieces that go on top. So all the bases are the same. So the cool part, in my point of view, is even though we have 32 pieces, basically there's one program, and it's exactly the same for all the robots. They just have different configuration. So that was a way to make it. We had thought at one point about making different pieces, so you'd actually have a horse that would walk. And that means, you know, every single piece, all 6 different types of pieces have their own program and their own values for turning, their own ways of following a line. And we decided that, you know, make things a whole lot easier, because most people, when they see a chess set, you know, the base is pretty much the same, just a standard base. So we figured we could just go with that standard base and just make the bodies different that go on top of it.
Do you have any new Lego and LabVIEW projects in mind?
I have a couple projects that I'm working on. The big thing that I'm working on now is a different type of board game, which is called Robo Rally, which is something that people either know or they don't. And so it's not at all like chess in that most people probably won't recognize it for what it is. But the people that recognize it are going to love it and want to play it. Chess is a really cool game, but I didn't really build the chess set because I wanted to play chess. I built it because I knew it would be a cool project. The next thing that we're going to be doing is we're doing it because it's a game that I want to play, and I want to play it as a sort of a real live Lego robotic game.
And you think you'll program that in LabVIEW?
I'm not sure what we're going to use to ultimately program it. To a large part, we can take the same software that we have now to work on the robots, because really all that's doing is telling the robot exactly where to go, which is the same sort of instructions that we use in the Robo Rally.
What new LabVIEW features would be helpful to you?
New LabVIEW features. Questions like that are kind of interesting to me, because the thing about building with Lego as a whole is I kind of use the tool set that I have. Say, you know, these are the pieces that I have. This is what I have to build with. And so I don't do a lot of dreaming about what other features I want with the Lego pieces or with the software or anything like that. It's sort of like, you know, this is the tool set I'm working with, and my challenge is to build from there, or to program, you know, with the tool set that I have. And so I suppose I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about what other stuff I could do. I spend more time thinking about how can I use the tools that I have to accomplish the task I'm looking for.
Can you just lastly go into some specifics about Monster Chess, number of bricks, hours and days and weeks to program, so on and so forth?
Monster Chess was a project that started in June of 2000, or in July of 2009, and we took it to its first show in June of 2010. So it took about a year from the time we first came up with the idea until the time we had it out on public display. And it's been a fun project. It's been really big. It's got a little over 100,000 pieces, 100,000 Lego pieces to make up the board, the pieces, the bases, the bodies, all that. And if you went out and bought all the pieces, it's about $30,000 worth of Lego. Let's see, what else do we have there?
That's a lot of Lego.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. I'd like to have that many Legos. How about how long did it take you to program it and build and all that?
We started with the design. It took about a year for the whole thing, and I think we probably were, in probably November. So about 6 months into it, we had the robot design worked out, and so we started working on the programming for the PC and the programming for the robot itself. And so I can't tell you at this point how long it took to program the robot because we're not done. We have some more adjustment, getting it to move around the board. It's pretty good right now. It pretty much gets to the square, but there's always more fine-tuning to do with it. And so I'm somewhat of a perfectionist when it comes to a lot of these things, so I want it to get right to the exact spot. And so I'm still tweaking that. So our original plan was to take this on tour. It took us about a year to make it, and then we're going to take it on tour for about a year. Starting in June and going through the next June, there's a big show in Chicago that we go to. And so we plan to go to that show twice for the start and the finish of Monster Chess. And I won't be surprised if I'm still working on it when we take it back there. And we actually already have some plans beyond June. People have requested to bring it to their shows. We didn't get a chance to take it to NI Week last year, or this year. We wanted to take it there, but we had some other stuff that we already committed to. So we'll take it next year after the June show to NI Week and have it there.
Cool. Okay, this has been an interview with Steve Hassenplug, the creator of Monster Chess. This is Ed DeWitt. Thanks.